So, folks, what you've learned so far are all the essential skills in FACE around that we want kids to have as they approach doing challenges and helping them overcome their anxiety. And there's one more set in FACE, which is the E step, which is called evaluating and enhancing motivation. And we're going to talk today about the first part of the E step. And it's actually what we want to do after we do what makes us anxious. What we want to do after the anxiety challenge. And so what we've learned from the learning literature, what's really important is to look at what we were worried about and to see whether that thing that we were worried about came true or not. Was our anxious brain right? So for example, my anxious brain worries I'm going to blow up on an airplane. I want to use those skills to help me get on the plane. I want to fly. But the last thing to really help our worry brain see that it was wrong, we actually want to take a moment and look at that. What my worry brain was telling me is I'm going to blow up. I flew, and guess what? I didn't blow up. And we really want to highlight whether our worry brain was right or wrong, and a lot of times it's going to be wrong. And sometimes it might be right, especially around our psychological fears. It can be, but most of the time it won't be. But if it is, we want to highlight that I survived. I made it through and I still was able to do it. So we want to look back, and there's either going to be one or two outcomes. Outcome one, my anxiety was wrong, and we really want to highlight that. Number two outcome, my anxiety was right, but I'm still standing, I'm here, and it's going to help me in the future and make it easier by doing it. So that's the last thing we want to do after we do these challenges is A, celebrate the victory. Woohoo! That was awesome, you did the test. And remember, you thought you were going to freeze, you thought you were going to fail. Was your anxiety right? Oh no, it wasn't. You didn't freeze. You didn't fail. Or you did, but you did it. You still made it through. The last thing we also want to look at, and that's where I like to talk about anxiety like this entity, is anxiety is a sore loser. So the other part of the E step is after you do a challenge or your kid does a challenge, invariably you'll hear things like, oh, I could present in front of class, but if it was a larger class, I couldn't do it. And that's anxiety being a sore loser. Anytime you hear but, it's telling you what you can't do because it wants you to focus on what you can't, so you stop. So the last thing you want to do after challenges is you want to look at how is anxiety trying to be a sore loser and trying to call it out, trying to say to it, hey anxiety, you're wrong. And I'm not going to let you stop me. I'm not going to let you use those tricks to keep me from doing. And so that's the key part as a parent, after kids do anxious challenges, to slow down, to celebrate the victory, because remember for them, they just stood up to the cobra. You want to look back how right they were, and then you want to look at how is anxiety trying to keep me from doing this in the future and not let it be effective. And those are the key parts to the first part of the E step when we're doing challenges.